Oh man, I felt good. What is good, everybody? It's your boy Dark Star Menace, and I am back. Yes, I'm making my official return back to doing my Saturday nerd stream. Yes, I'm back. And just before I get into the topic of the subject that I'm going to be getting into, which is my review on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I do want to take the time to really just send my condolences to the family of Kevin Conroy. Yes, for y'all, anybody that does not know who Kevin Conroy is, he is the voice of Batman. Hey, Big Greg, salute, bro, salute. Yeah, just recently we got news that he did pass away from his battle from intestinal cancer, and he was survived by his husband Vaughn Williams. Um, that's a real tough. That was like kind of a tough thing to hear, that a guy that was so influential, that had that much of an impact throughout not just one generation but multiple generations, play the role of Batman like no other could. In fact, he was that influential to the point where a lot of the Batman movies took inspiration from the animated series. Like that's how much of an impact he had as Batman. That it was gut wrenching to hear that news. So I do want to say rest in peace to the Batman. Rest in peace to Kevin Conroy. He will never be forgotten. He's one of the goats. One of the goats. He is the definitive Batman. Like, cannot change my mind. Yeah, I had to get that out of the way. Otherwise, I would have been a dick and somebody be like, "Oh, well, you're a fucking nerd. You're a fucking nerd, Dark Star. How the fuck are you not gonna talk about Kevin Conroy? How are you gonna gloss past that?" Nah, I had to get into that. I had to say something. Heartbreak Kid, salute, brother, salute. Yeah, that's facts, man. So now, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Let's get into this review. Okay. I'll be honest. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a beat. And my girlfriend's calling. Hold on a sec, y'all. Hold on. Let me let her know I'm on live right now. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. My girlfriend was calling me right now. Um, Let me just get into it. Like I said, I was completely mixed with this movie. Like it was a lot. Like, I guess I can go ahead and just kind of really. I don't know if I should just get into the good, the bad, what I like, what I think worked with it. You know what? I'm just gonna get into what was good. One of the things I like that were good in the movie. So, a couple of things I liked. Definitely the setting. The Wakanda setting was. Like some people. Some people. I heard somebody try to say that it felt like they downgraded Wakanda, and I disagree. Like, Wakanda looked a lot more expanded than it did from the first movie. Of course, costume design, set pieces, on point. Uh, the fight scenes, all the action scenes, fucking on point. I will not even lie about that. Like, a lot of the action scenes and the fight scenes in the movie were fucking spot on. They did not skip a beat. Not in the least bit, man. Shit. I know there was that one bridge. There was a fight scene that was in the previews. And by the way, this is a spoiler review, so if you have not watched Wakanda Forever, I hate to be a dick. I'm spoiling the fucking movie, but I'm not gonna spoil too much. But I'm gonna spoil the movie. So if you're looking for a spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to log out from here because I'm about to spoil one scene in the movie that worked for me. So if you haven't seen it, hop off from the stream and then catch the replay. My bad, Big Grit. I already said it was gonna be a spoiler review, bro. Oh shit, my bad, bro. Like I said, I'm not gonna give too much away, man. Just really, just the shit that worked and didn't work is gonna be kind of like what I mean by spoiler review. I'm not gonna turn around and give you a play by play of the whole fucking movie. No, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, let me go ahead and get back into what I was saying, like with the things that I liked. Yeah, there's this one fight scene on the bridge with Okoye and Altuma. Oh, bet, bro, bet, appreciate it, appreciate that, bro. But yeah, there was a fight scene between Altuma and Okoye on the bridge, which I'm not gonna lie, that fight scene was fire. That fight scene was straight fire. Just the just how the whole choreography was, and really just how you can sense that the tension between the two, between Altuma and Okoye. It was one of those things where it was like, two warriors fight one another, and it's one of those things that's like, I respect you, but at the same time, I gotta take your ass the fuck out. That type of vibe. So that was one thing I liked. I liked that vibe behind it. Um, what else? The new Black Panther suit, fucking fire. I'm not even gonna sit up there and lie. Like, that suit was fire, straight up fire. And it's kind of obvious who the new Black Panther was. It's Shuri, obviously. But yeah, and I do like, one other thing I did kind of like is that they actually they didn't just automatically have it to where Shuri just became Black Panther. No, she needed to get pushed, and that's what they did. Is they pushed her into doing it. Like, she just needed that extra push, and that's something I did like, is that they explored that. Angela Bassett's performance in this movie, I'm gonna keep this a beam. I feel like Angela Bassett carried the majority of the movie. Her performance overshadowed so much shit in the entire movie. Like, her performance overshadowed a lot in the entire movie. Like, there's not really anything I can say bad about her performance. So I mean, I'm definitely giving her that. Oh, Jesus Christ, who is calling me right now? Hold on a sec, y'all. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had somebody like call my phone. I don't know who the fuck it was. Apparently, it was the wrong number. Anyway, so what was I saying? Um, yeah, just the fact that how they pushed Shuri to become Black Panther was actually, I thought that was pretty decent. Um, I was mixed about Namor. Very, very mixed. Like, there were some things about Namor that worked, and then there was things that just did not work. And do not mind that noise. That is my cat trying to get into my room while I'm doing this review. So if you hear that noise in the background, it's just my cat trying to get in here and he's trying to bug me. But yeah, I like, for me, Namor was a mixed bag. Very, very mixed bag. I'm just gonna be honest about that. But I do like the fact that they did have him say his catchphrase from the comic. You know, that was kind of cool. That was a cool thing that they made him say the Imperious Rex. That was legit. I was glad they did that. Cannot even be mad at the fact that they did that, because that was on point. What else? What else? Was there anything else that I really liked about it? That's pretty much it. For me, like some of the things I did not like was just the direction of the writing. Like, and you know what? I'm gonna get deeper into that in a little bit. I'm gonna get a little deeper into the writing part aspect in a little bit. But yeah, just a couple things I didn't like besides the writing. Sorry. I feel like they could have. I feel like I wish they would have used M'Baku a little bit better. Which, by the way, I feel like M'Baku was like the highlight of the movie too. Like he was badass, but I feel like they could have. I feel like they could have gave him just a little bit more screen time. But that's just me being freaking picky as fuck on that part. You know, with Baku having more screen time. That's just me. That's just me being a freaking fanboy of M'Baku because low key M'Baku is one of my favorite characters. So yeah. Trying to think what else. Just something with the. I guess with the ending, which I'll get into that in a minute, because that's going to be part of what I'm talking about as far as like with the writing kind of suffered a little bit. I feel like there were some parts in the movie where like I feel like I like the funeral scene, but I feel like it took up a good majority of the movie. It felt like I don't know. I don't know how I really felt with the funeral. Like, you know, I'll just get into the writing. I'll just get into the writing portion because that's really what my biggest issue was the writing. Um, just really how exploitative it really felt as far as them killing off T'Challa. Like, dude, it was just one of those situations where it was like no one really wants. Like to me, I just didn't want to see T'Challa. I didn't want to see him pass away again. You know, it was just one of those things where it was like it felt exploitative. That's how I really felt about it. Honestly, it's just them using the real life death of Chadwick Boseman to kind of inspire the story of Black Panther. It just for Wakanda Forever just felt really exploitive. Like it felt like they were really trying to exploit his death and use it as a plot device to move a story forward. And I'm not for using real life events to move a superhero movie forward, especially with something like that. Because last I checked, if I'm trying to watch a fucking movie, I'm not trying to have real life reflect my movie. You understand what I'm saying? Like the point of watching a movie is to get away from all the fuck shit in reality. But then you got to take something that was real and something that was a little too real and throw it into the movie and make it like the main plot point of make it as a plot device to drive the story. I wasn't for that. And then the other thing with just kind of with the whole thing with the whole colonizer shit. And keep in mind, like I I don't know with that. This is ooh man. I'm trying to think how I could really get into that part. That part. I'm trying to think how I really want to get into this. If anybody's ever read the original Fantastic Four, where Black Panther made his first appearance, and he kicked the shit out of the Fantastic Four, and he asked the Fantastic Four for help to take out Claw. There was a hidden theme behind that issue. Just that first issue alone is that we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be distrusting of outsiders just because of past transgressions that happened over hundreds of years ago. Like the world should change. As the world changes, we should be able to change with it. I'm not saying it's not saying like, oh, we should forgive, the colonizers for doing what they did. Like, no, not saying that shit. But you gotta be able to move forward. That was what I got out of the first issue of Black Panther. And I feel like the issue with this movie is that I feel like they hold on to that. Like they throw the word colonizer around like it they throw it around like they're passing a fucking football. And it gets old after a while. That shit gets old after a while. So that was kind of one thing I didn't like was the whole thing with the whole colonization theme, kind of exploring that with the Aztecs, and then even kind of bringing it up with the whole African slave trade. I'm not saying that oh it never happened because we know what happened, but why do we really need to throw that into a movie about fictional characters? Why do we feel the need to really kind of exploit that and explore it and use it as a plot device? That's my question. Why do we have to use that as a plot point to drive a story? You know, I feel like it would have been just better enough to be like, oh, you have vibranium, I want it. So there you have Namor and his people trying to take the vibranium from the Wakandans. That alone would have already been a badass story. You know, but I digress with that. Um, Other than that, I mean, that's one of the other issues I kind of had with it. Was really the writing suffered. Um, do I feel like they should have killed off T'Challa? No, I don't. I don't feel like T'Challa should have been killed off, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, like my thing is, I'm not telling anybody to feel a certain way with the movie. You know, like if you're somebody that watched the movie, you enjoyed it, cool, you enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the movie. I mean, I did. I liked the movie. I'm not saying it was one of the best movies Marvel put out. That's too big of a stretch, especially if we're talking Phase 4. I would say maybe like second or third. I say second. It was probably probably second best movie in Phase 4. Just in my opinion, it was second best. And I will say this much: I do like the little twist that they did when Shuri recreated the heart-shaped herb, and instead of thinking she was gonna see her brother or her father, she saw Killmonger. That was an interesting twist. I didn't see that shit coming. That was a cool twist. Cause basically, I guess what it is when you ingest the heart-shaped herb, it kind of goes off. You kind of see a vision of how you're truly of someone that represents how you're truly feeling. And at that point, after Namor, yeah, spoiler alert, and I did spoil that, but a big spoiler that happened in the movie is Queen Ramonda died. Namor killed her by drowning her, and I thought that like, damn. I won't lie, that actually hit me. Like that that made my jaw sink. Like that was a gut punch when that happened, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I want them to do great things with the franchise of Black Panther. I do. I want them to do awesome shit with this franchise, you know? But I know one argument that I always have online is spat is like, oh, Black Panther is a fucking mantle. True. But when we're reading Black Panther comics or just when the story of Black Panther is being told, we're not talking about a fucking mantle. Not at all. When we read Black Panther, we're reading the story of T'Challa. Okay? The story of T'Challa. Not the Black Panther mantle. And then do I still and I still stand by when I say like I still feel they should recast T'Challa. Like I honestly feel like they still could recast him. You know? Why do I believe they could recast him? I mean, besides the ending, how they ended it, I think that was a weird way how they ended it, where he had a secret child. It's cool, but I still feel like it's a missed opportunity where they could have explored a handful of different storylines. But they kind of cut themselves. I hate to say it, they kind of cut themselves at the knees with that. But I understand, but still, they cut themselves at the knees with that. Because I mean, you got so many stories that really could be explored with Black Panther. You know, you could have went into the whole King of the Dead storyline that could have been explored. Having a relationship with Storm, getting married to Storm. That's like one of the biggest ones that they fumbled. I'm not even gonna lie about that. They fumbled that shit completely, and I don't even know how I feel. I'm just so pissed about that being fumbled that I don't even have the right words to really comprehend that what's going through my head on that one. But other than that, if I really gotta give this movie an honest score out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Nah, nah, take it back. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Cause I mean, it was a good movie, had good action. You know, just the writing, it had a lot of flaws, and plus, it felt rushed. It really, really felt rushed, in my personal opinion. The movie felt rushed, and I get it, like because he Ryan Coogler had to rewrite the script from the ground up, so I can't fault him too much on that. I can't really be too harsh on that front. But at the same time, I know if I was in that position, I would have put the project on ice for the time being. You know, get through my grief, you know, and then come back, revisit the project at a later time to find a way to make it work. Because I mean, I got into a spat online with somebody saying like, oh, the cast was grieving, and trying to recast would have been hard. True, very, very true. But then anytime I bring up the death of Andy Whitman on Spartacus, no one but everybody, like, and it's a valid point because it's the same situation. He passed away from cancer. What did they do months after he passed away from cancer? I say like maybe months after he passed away from cancer. What did they do? They recasted the character of Spartacus. Whether it worked or not is not the point. The point is this: is the cast and crew were able to still move forward in spite of the fact that you know this this man that was their friend. You know, like I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you've ever watched Spartacus and some of the behind the scenes stuff, everybody actually bond. They go through like a whole little big group workout camp where everybody bonds. It's like a big old bonding session to where everybody works out together, eats together. Not gonna really say sleeps together because then I gotta say pause. Everybody sleeps together. Yeah, I'll say everybody sleeps together. Pause. You know what I mean? They do everything as a single unit, which is why when you watch the show, like the chemistry is there. The whole chemistry is there because they spent that time bonding before the show started. You know, and that's what they had to do with the new actor, and it worked for the most part. What's my point to this is that recasting isn't a bad thing. I don't think recasting is a bad thing because it's not saying that the person you cast him with is going to be better, is potentially better than him, or you're just replacing that actor, or saying, oh, he's just taking the place of that actor. Yeah, yes, he's filling in the role, but it does not take away from everything that the previous actor did that was great and made the character work. Because it's like it's like what's that guy's name? I can't remember the dude's name. But it was the dude that's one of the writers for X-Men 97 for the new X-Men cartoon that's coming out. And he said it best. You have to respect what came before and then add on to it. So even if you bring another actor in, of course he's gonna respect what Chadwick did before him. He's just gotta add on to it. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with adding things to a character versus taking shit away. You know? especially if you still respect what came before. So I don't think recasting is a bad thing. I mean, as many times, I mean, let's be honest, many times we recasted Batman, Superman, fucking Spider Man, all these other fucking superheroes that get recasted. And the one black superhero we have, we don't recast him. What do? We bury him. We just bury the character. Mind you, this is the very first historically black superhero. So that's where I kind of like have my issue when it comes to the recasting thing, you know? And even then, I'm not saying you should recast them for this movie. They should have got recasted for this movie. I mean, you would have liked it, but realistically, it probably wouldn't have worked. But I mean, if you wanted to recast them in a third movie, I mean, you can still do it. I just kind of think the whole thing with the child was kind of with him having a secret child was just kind of a cop out, in my opinion. I feel like it was a cop out to like to do the whole recasting. It was basically kind of saying, well, you want us to recast the child? Like, guess what? You fucking got it. Shut the fuck up. That's kind of how it felt. But I get it, and you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. So I mean, that's kind of how I felt like that. And I'm like, for the most part, I've kind of already like, I'm like over it already, you know. But I feel like they could have did Namor justice in this movie. I feel like the whole time that they just kind of made Namor just kind of a victim. And that's something I get real tired of with like superhero movies where we always have to make either hero or the villain some type of victim. Like, why can't a freaking supervillain just be evil for the sake of just being fucking evil? Hmm? What happened to that shit? I don't know. But that's just how I feel about it. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much my full on review on it. Just kind of my full playback. I didn't get as much spoil crazy with it because I might have to watch the movie a second time to kind of really get a full scope of how I really thought about it. Do I think it should have got a theatrical release? 50-50. I think it would have worked better on but I really do think it would have worked better on Disney Plus than on in theaters. But I mean, that's just me. And I think for some people that are saying like, "Oh, this is the best Black Panther movie, best ever," nah, I kind of have to disagree with that. I still think the first one was better, in my opinion. The only thing the first one suffered from was really bad CGI during the freaking Killmonger T'Challa fight. But not, I mean, that's pretty much my spoiler review. Um, Next time I think that when I do a review like this, I'm probably gonna do it like coming out of the theater. That way, my memory is a lot more fresh. So I think I'm gonna do that. Um, I know I'm behind on giving y'all a Black Adam review because I did watch Black Adam, and I actually did enjoy that movie. Um, but yeah, later on tonight, I'm gonna do a stream either tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna do a Batman stream, and this is gonna be my way of paying tribute to Kevin Conroy while I play the game. Um, yeah, I mean, other than that, that's pretty much my review. That's yeah, that's pretty much it. So, if you haven't already, please feel free to hit the like, subscribe, share the video, even though it was kind of short notice. Other than that, that's pretty much my movie review. Hopefully, I can probably do more of these. Just let me know in the comment section what y'all think of my review. If y'all have a few things I could work on, by all means, throw it in the comment section. Like, I'm not one of those people where I'm gonna freaking sit up here and talk shit to you because you're giving me, feedback. Positive, negative feedback, whatever feedback y'all got, please leave it in the comment section because I can't get any better if I'm not getting any feedback, like any honest feedback. So please feel free, to like, share, leave a comment, give me your honest feedback. Other than that, this is your boy Dark Star Menace, and I'm out. Peace.